Alright, so today I'm going to be ranking every single HYB episode as of HYB 17. Why? Because, well, I'm kind of bored, to be honest. I'm kind of bored. But, anyway, let's get started. This will actually, even though this has a lot of episodes, it's probably gonna be shorter than the HYB Beatbox's tier list. So, yeah, let's get started. This episode is actually pretty good. It's oh, this is the remaster. Okay, then you go there. I was about to say because I thought this was the original. If this was the original, this would easily get into F tier. But since this is the remaster, this is actually pretty good. Yeah, this is a pretty good remaster. Actually, this is actually pretty good. I mean, I feel like some parts of it save this episode from being F tier. This episode's actually pretty good. I feel like Foxy's beatbox saved this episode. I liked it. This episode was actually kind of boring, and I didn't really like it. Anyway, this is polar tune. This is polar. Okay, whatever. This isn't even the original thumbnail anymore. This episode's actually pretty good. I like it. This used to be my favorite, but then it got overshadowed AF. This one's actually pretty good. I feel like some of the others, some parts of it were bland. This is actually a pretty good episode. This one, I understand why people don't like this, but I actually think this is pretty decent. Yeah, I think this is fine. And even though the beatboxes for this episode weren't really that great, I still think episode 7 is still pretty fine. This is actually pretty good. I like that they actually, I like the paint scene, like they were in, like when they were in NS Paint. That was cool, but yeah, I think this episode's pretty good. This one, this okay, this episode is actually kind of boring. Not gonna lie. This episode's pretty good. Yeah, I guess this is fine. I think this actually might be the first episode to have animation in it. Wait, yeah, I think somewhere around episode 8, 9, and 10, the episodes actually started to have animation, which is actually kind of cool. But yeah, this is a pretty good episode. This we have HYB 11. This episode was actually kind of funny, not gonna lie. Yeah, this is like the first HYB episode to have the HYB logo being blue in the thumbnail, which is actually kind of cool. And in future episodes after it, the logo had a different color, so it's actually kind of cool. Like I was kind of getting bored of the whole orange logo thing. This episode was actually really funny. Like it had lots of funny parts, and yeah, I didn't rely on one joke like another episode I'll get to in a bit. Speaking of S tier episodes, this episode is also pretty good. Like like although episode 13 is like the better episode because it had like more animation, and this episode is like just made me laugh a lot more, and I feel like that really helps the episode more. Like you can have the best written and animated episode, but if it isn't entertaining, that doesn't necessarily mean that's gonna be good when viewed by other people. And I feel like that when you compare HYB 12 and 13 is a good example of this. And as we have episode 14. this episode is also kind of boring, but I feel like the writing kind of helps it. Also, Omega was actually pretty funny in this episode. So like that one scene where Hydro tells Omega to roast Kobo. Um, but anyway, I'll put it right here. I'll put it right here. Um, okay. Episode 15. Episode 15. Uh, it is actually a pretty okay episode. This is pretty fun. Uh, the animation in this was good. I think this was the first episode to have a no. Episode 13 was the first episode to have the the what is it called? The intro and the title card. But episode 15, however, was the first episode to have like the voting screen, and personally I really like the voting screen in HYB. It's really nicely drawn. And like whoever draws the voting screen for HYB, shout out to them. Like they're a pretty good drawer. Uh, Next we have episode 16. Episode 16. Uh, I say this is actually a pretty good episode too. I think it's better than episode 15 because personally I found this episode more entertaining. Uh, this episode, however, this one was actually pretty funny, even though the beatboxes were actually kind of meh. Uh, this episode had lots of funny parts, like hmm. Okay, I'm trying to think of a funny part from this episode. Okay, yeah, like JT was actually pretty funny in this episode. Oh, like when he was like when Bella asked JT, "Why do you care about popcorn TV?" and JT said, "That red son of a that red son of a bitch who owes me $20 and always says hi in the chat." That scene was pretty funny. Also, what when popcorn TV when I used to be famous when literally no one else was around. Uh, but besides that, where do I put this? Yeah, I think this is a pretty good episode. Uh, this is actually a pretty funny episode. I liked it. I put it right here. Uh, this, this episode is easily S tier. Like I really like this episode. What can I say? Yeah, I mean, although it's not the funniest episode, it's still like the more. It's still like the better episode. I like the writing in this episode. Um, Although I said like if an episode isn't entertaining, it's not necessarily good. But this episode I personally think this episode is an exception to that. Um, Next we have Cameron versus Mason. I think this is actually a pretty decent episode. Uh, Cameron's defense was pretty good, but I don't think it really had that many entertaining parts in it. So yeah, that's why it's only here. Yeah. Um. Okay, so episode 13. Uh. Okay, I like this episode, but this episode kind of only relies on one unfunny joke about how Rev and Red's names are similar. Uh, and yeah, it kind of got unfunny after a while, but yeah, I'll still put it right here. I think this is a pretty decent episode. I honestly kind of don't like this. It's kind of boring. Not gonna lie. I'd say it's better than the remastered episode one. Actually, yeah. I'll put it right here. Um, Popcorn TV versus Bad. This episode is actually kind of boring too. Like I feel like the episodes in B tier are like pretty or like kinda good, and like okay, I feel like the ones are that are in the like the top half, like I was like Poetron versus CSA. So like HYB 11, like those episodes are pretty good, and everything like below HYB 11 is either like kind of meh or like boring, but good enough to be in B tier. You know. Speaking of episodes, I don't know what transition I was thinking of, but anyway, Mr. Bear versus Mr. Fish. This episode, like, I cannot explain to you how good this episode was. Like, this episode had so many funny and speaking of funny episodes, the Halloween bonus episode is my favorite episode. Like Gary versus Quotawise is my favorite episode now. Um. Anyway. Anyway. Mr. Bear versus Mr. Fish. That episode had so many funny parts. Like Mr. Bear was really funny in this episode, especially his beatbox. It's like now listening, like I listened to Mr. Bear's beatbox, and it had quite a bit of funny parts. Like Foxy coming out of nowhere and saying, "I'm Kanye." Anyway, however, the HYB Halloween episode. That was a pretty good Halloween special, and I hope that Hydra decides to make more holiday themed specials for HYB in the future. Like, and if he does, uh, this episode really goes to show how they're going to be. Um, the beginning was pretty funny when Gary first meets Quarterwise, and yeah, everything else is pretty good. But I do want to say, like, after the first 4 minutes of the episode, actually, yeah, I think that after the first 4 minutes of the episode, the episode kind of starts to go downhill. Like, it doesn't start to become bad. Like, it starts to become less entertaining as after that time frame. But before I say this is my HYB episode tier list, I do want to make a few changes. Personally, I think this episode deserves to be in D tier because, well, when CSA said if you don't sing for me, I'm gonna shoot you, and Hydra just decides to sing the the my name is that part was funny. That part was funny, but yeah, everything else of that episode was kind of bad. So yeah, only D tier. Um, but besides that, I don't think there's any other changes I would like to make to this tier list. So with that being said, this is my HYB episodes tier list as of HYB 17. Uh, and yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.